Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved Cure Mode. Well guys, I did it. I beat the bioweapon on Mega Brutal. Oh my god, this disease is unbelievably unfair. It is an exercise in despair and self-loathing. I hate everything about this, especially on Mega Brutal. It is ridiculous, and you have no choice but to resort to what I would consider cheesy strategies if you want to beat it on Mega Brutal. I'm not even sure it's possible to win this in a fair and normal way. But that's okay, because this is an extremely unfair disease. I don't mind playing dirty myself. Here's the trick about the bioweapon, okay? It starts off with extremely high infectivity and fatality and will spread very, very quickly. To make things worse, though, its quirk is that every new country it infects will increase the base infectivity and fatality rate, which means it is exponentially going to be getting more and more powerful the more it spreads, the easier it is to get into new countries, the more powerful it becomes, etc., until such a point where it infects a couple dozen countries and it is literally impossible to stop. So your only hope, if you want to beat this on Mega Brutal, is to contain it to a single continent within the first few seconds of the game. If you can't do that, you might as well restart. If that sounds stupid, it's because it is, and I have wasted about 12 hours of my life trying to get the stars to align for this. Let's take a look at my task force. We're going to go for fast response EMTs because speed is king. Everything else, I spit on you. This is the one that wins. Strategic fundraiser, because if we can contain this to one continent, we're not going to get a lot of resources from red bubbles. We need the HQ to give me some extra resources or else I am sunk. Disaster manager, because a lot of people are about to die. Celebrity scientist for non-compliance, pretty helpful. And airport controller or port controller, either one is acceptable, but the goal is to prevent the disease from escaping within the first 2 seconds of the scenario beginning. And no, I'm not kidding. So anything that helps with that is possibly going to save your game. Let's get started. Now, I'm going to start in the Caribbean. Why? Because I desperately want this disease to start in South America. And if it is in South America and I'm located in the Caribbean, I'm hopefully going to be able to detect it and react within the first couple seconds of the game. You technically could probably still win this if it spawns somewhere in Africa that does not have access to a port, but it would be a lot harder. You'll be better off simply restarting until it starts off in South America. And not just anywhere in South America. It needs to spawn in Colombia, Peru, or Bolivia. One of those 3 countries so that it doesn't immediately get access to a port or an airport and leave the continent. That means that there's over 100 countries in the game. You have a less than 3% chance of this run being succeeding from the very beginning. So that's why we want to start in the Caribbean and detect it extremely quickly. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, one thing I would recommend doing once you start your game in the Caribbean is immediately stop and save the game. Why? Because if this is the magical run where you got that less than a 3% chance it's in one of the 3 countries you want, you don't want to lose this attempt. So save your game, check Colombia and Brazil. If it's not there, restart. Save it again, check. If it's not there, restart. Save again, check. Until you get the perfect run. That's exactly what I've got right here. I have loaded a run where I did exactly that. It took me a few hours to realize that this was the best way to use my time. I kept trying again and again and make it work in Africa, Europe, and South America. It just didn't work and I got sick of it. So now we're going to cheat, quote unquote, and use the save and reload mechanics to make sure we do not lose a potential successful run. Now let's go ahead and grab our operations with the field operatives, as we usually do. Need to grab this immediately. Now, this is going to be kind of stupid, but every microsecond counts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slowly creep forward in time until I see that little HQ pop up, and then I immediately want to send out my field operatives because every fraction of a second matters. Now, I don't have access to my field operatives over here, but one thing you can do, once this little guy has popped up, click on a country, and lo and behold, it's there. We're going to travel first to Brazil because I'm pretty confident it's going to be right in here. And I want to find that infectivity and shut down airports and ports immediately in Brazil and Argentina. So let's go ahead and do that there. As we travel away, it's going to be discovered. We need a red bubble. Oh, a plane is already getting away. Unfortunate. I don't even have enough points to deal with that. Where's it going to go, I wonder? The UK? Well, let's go ahead and shut that down. Let's pay attention to the UK. We're going to have to go and pay them a visit in a minute. Let's explore the remainder of South America. Make sure you shut both of these down the second you have the points available. Okay? Absolutely crucial. Anything outside of that, you're sunk. We're going to explore the rest of these countries in Central America, then we're going to go over to the UK. Now, let's take a look at some of the special abilities that come with the bioweapon. How do you deal with a bioweapon that ramps up exponentially in power and will result in the death of hundreds of millions? Well, you declare Armageddon. And by declaring Armageddon, we are going to gain a huge boost in authority. This is going to jump up to like 200 in a second. And that's to give you enough authority to even have a chance at holding on to world control after the disease starts to spread. If you don't pick this, I think you automatically lose. You have to get it basically first. Anything outside of that? Too bad. Now, this comes with a couple of other special abilities, both of which are equally important. We have Expectation Management, which limits the amount of authority damage per country. Basically, as the disease begins to spread and people start to panic, we are going to be taking massive authority losses due to panic and the deaths, right? This caps how much damage each country individually can be doing to your authority at a given time, which is the only way to slow down the authority loss to enough of a trickle that you can actually have the time to win this scenario. So you have to get this very early on. The other ability is called Extreme Measures. You lose authority by picking this up, but you train your field operatives to execute every infected person in the country they currently reside in. Sounds cruel. Welcome to the bioweapon. We are going to be executing our infected, not curing them, in order to save the world. So let's go ahead and grab some points and grab this first, because I need to get to the UK and kill the 3 people who are currently infected before this country is lost forever. Let's make sure we actually land here. There we go. Travel over to the UK. Now, as long as this is a manageable number of less than 20, the first level of Extreme Measures can handle this. After that, you'll have to pick up Extreme Measures 2, which uses Black Ops soldiers. Instead of killing a couple dozen people per day, which is just barely enough to keep up with the exponential growth in the UK right now, we'd be able to kill a couple hundred per day. But even then, if this number were to get up to, let's say, 1,000, you'd lose. There would be no way for you to actually beat this. You would lose that country forever. So you have to nip it in the bud super duper fast. It is in Central America. That scares me, but we will come back to that in just a moment. Let's get over to the UK. We're going to start executing people until it's at 0, and then we're going to go right back to Central America. Congratulations, by killing 17 people, we just saved the entire population of the United Kingdom. I'm a hero. I know. Let's get over to Central America, and we're going to make sure we do the exact same thing before anyone gets over here. Didn't I get a red bubble? I think the person died immediately. Oh, well, good. Okay, that solved that problem, I suppose. Thank you. We will want to pick up the second level soon, but I'm going to go for the Expectation Management first because we're going to start seeing some deaths ramp up pretty rapidly in just a moment. Let's grab that now so we can have some Expectation Management. We're going to start losing some authority, but hopefully it doesn't get too bad. Hopefully. And then we're going to go ahead and grab Extreme Measures Level 2. Now, I am going to leave these people to their fate in South America. They're already dead. They're condemned. Don't even bother. Expect the disease to run rampant, kill about half to 2/3 of the population before it finally peters out and no longer has enough hosts and it starts to naturally die off. We are never going to get a vaccine. We're simply going to allow the disease to burn itself out. Okay? That's the only thing we can do. Sorry. I wish there was another option, but there ain't. More infectious than TB, you say? Oh, gosh. I don't know, whatever I'm going to do about that. Notice we're only losing 1 authority at a time, maybe 2, instead of losing like 10. Okay, so that's pretty important. Central America actually has 70 summit people infected. Okay, so now we have to pick up Extreme Measures 2 and stop this quick. There we go. Right back down to 0. Pay attention to this. Now, technically speaking, instead of just holding on to Central America as the bottleneck to prevent South America from going anywhere, if it spawned in, let's say, Africa, preferably Morocco or maybe Central Africa or Angola, that can work. You just have to hold on to Egypt and also Saudi Arabia because technically there's a slight land connection here. Not literally like in the real world, but as far as the game is concerned, there's a slight land connection between East Africa and Saudi Arabia. And what you'll do is you'll bounce between these two countries, killing off whoever's been infected, and you'll be micromanaging this for the rest of the game until Africa naturally dies off. Same thing I think is theoretically true in Europe, between either the Balkan states and Russia, or if it's already there, maybe Turkey and Russia, and keep it contained that way. I think you technically could, but it would be difficult because they have much higher populations. So at some point, you're just going to have so much authority loss, it's pretty darn difficult to deal with. Now, I'm going to be watching for the exponential growth in Brazil and Colombia, etc. We're already there with Peru. A lot of people are about to die. But I'm watching some of these countries to see when they're going to hit exponential growth, so I know when to pick up censorship. And that is going to reduce the amount of... sorry, it's going to freeze my authority in place so we don't lose a ton during a 1-month period where I expect the most people to die. That is the idea behind that anyway. Let's go ahead and grab the first level of authority just to be prepared for it. I'm also going to grab infection control, which kind of just doubles up. If somebody gets through, we'll either kill them or immediately cure them. It's one of the two. It just doubles up on trying to get rid of the numbers immediately in a single country. We're now up to about 122 authority, but it's still ticking down pretty quick. Here comes Brazil. It's starting to get to that critical mass. Oh boy, isn't this fun. Argentina's hitting there already too. A lot of people, you're either alive in Peru, you've either killed them, or you're just dead already. It's just one of the two. Colombia's about to hit critical mass. Brazil's now hitting critical mass. All right, so we're about to see the deaths really start ramping up. This is a good time, probably, to grab the censorship. We're going to go ahead and freeze this in place at 137 authority while everyone just starts to die. What we're waiting for now is for only a few, about 1,000 people to still be infected per country. Now, what I've found happens is that the origin country kind of has a slight resurge. It kills almost everybody. Then it starts to resurge a little bit with its numbers. So what we're going to do to control that is go ahead and grab the lockdown and try to prevent the number of infections just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. If you've already survived, you shouldn't be getting infected again. Okay? That's my philosophy. Everyone's dying off pretty quick over here. Colombia hasn't quite petered out yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Authority's still looking pretty good while most people died. And now we're down to only 50,000 infected, about 193 million dead. Waiting for Colombia to get down a little bit more. Peru is still sort of hanging around there. I need this number to go down by a lot. I'm going to go ahead and grab the closing of the land borders here as well. And we could try to go for some other things here and hope that they help, but I honestly don't think that they will. I'm going to save my points in order to be prepared for another round of fake news if we need to. So, Peru, there's enough people who are no longer infected in Colombia. I think I can go to Peru, and we're going to try to burn this number down towards something acceptable. Now, they just thwarted my attempts to censor. Note that we're losing a load of authority very fast all of a sudden, like really stupidly fast. I'm going to go ahead and grab fake news. We now have about a month, unless somebody thwarts me again, to try and get this back under control, starting with Peru. These numbers are already down to something manageable. It all comes down to, right now, Bolivia and Peru and getting this down within a month. Okay, Peru just got down to 0. Perfect. Now we're going to go to Bolivia. Has this expanded in Central America? It hasn't. Good. Let's make sure it stays that way. Keep Bolivia down. Nobody should be crossing the border and reinfecting anybody, so this should be okay. Nationwide non-compliance scares me. If it weren't for the fact that nobody is basically sick over here in the first place. If a plane leaves right now, I'm actually going to get mad. Okay, so there are 55 people left infected in the world. They are in Colombia and Argentina. We're going to go to Argentina. Whoop. They just debunked me again. I have seconds to get this figured out. Okay, we're going to get Colombia taken care of. We're about to lose a lot of authority. Let's get over into Argentina. Kill them real quick. Oh, there's 19 people left infected. Where? Where? Wait, no. Really, though. Where? Has the game not... Oh, okay. Woo! I was about to say... I think the game hasn't recalculated. There it is. Barely held on with 34 authority. The entire continent of South America had to die. But we just eradicated PAX 19. It burned itself out. 3 stars. 176 days. 151,515 points. That's aesthetically pleasing. And congratulations, we've beaten the bioweapon on Mega Brutal. It is stupidly unfair. This is not even true. What is it showing me as a replay right now? I have no idea how this is even possible. Anyway, I think it technically can be beaten if it spawns in Africa or Europe. But really, you're already going to be restarting so much. Why not just restart until it's in South America where you can effectively contain the darn thing and not suffer terribly? I mean, as it is, this got close. Like 4 more days of the game and we would have lost. It was that close. So yeah, do what you need to, in my opinion. Cheese it as much as you want. If the game's already playing dirty, I say you fight with everything you got, right? Anyway, guys, that completes our campaign in Cure mode with Plague Inc. We have beaten every single disease type on Mega Brutal difficulty. I'm pretty proud of that. Maybe someday I'll find some more meta strategies that work better for the bioweapon or the nanovirus or something like that, and I'll revisit with new guides in the future. But for now, within the first week of this game being released, this should be enough to get you all the way to victory. I hope you guys do follow these guides. I hope you do find them helpful, because I sure as heck have put a lot of hours in trying to get these to you. Thank you all for watching and showing your support by hitting that like button, leaving a comment, subscribing, and hitting that notify bell for my future content. My name is Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.